Hello, my name is Terry. This video will cover part 5 of the Pythian Castle ghost hunt video. This is the footage from midnight till 3 a.m. This first short group of clips all contain unexplained sounds from down in the tunnel. They were all recorded while no one was down inside the tunnel or in the basement. The big question surrounding these sounds that Mr. Boots is producing down in the tunnel is why is he doing it when there's no one around to hear them? It's either that he produces all these sounds on his own accord because he just naturally goes up and down the tunnel, or he knows the camera's down there and he's playing to the camera. The following group of clips recorded down in the tunnel was when people were present. The camera captured a disembodied voice, which people are commenting that they heard something, but they didn't state what it said. They may not have been able to understand it. That's very common with disembodied voices. The camera also captured several EVP voices, and several people were reading words on their Ovilus type devices or ghost apps, and those are being commented on as they're reading it.
Does anybody know anybody that's a pastor?
No. Afraid. Mine says afraid.
Well, she's gonna hurt somebody. I will. I don't know why. I'm worried myself.
What's that though? That really was somebody talking. There was somebody talking. I thought it was her phone, but it wasn't. He's down here. He's out here.
Are you guys going in there?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, I'll go with you.
All right,
Let's do this again.
All right.
We heard footsteps in there.
We heard footsteps. We heard them really loud, like 3 different times, and we like ran and screamed. Like,
Prison, cell, dorm room. Yeah, please, yeah.
is that you? No, I didn't make noise. Did you take her? No, I didn't. That was probably not. But did you hear that?
I know that wasn't what I heard last trip.
What did you hear?
It sounded like it was coming from in this, so it didn't sound like it was something we had made down there from the travel.
Yeah.
It was something that was actually originating in here.
And footsteps or?
Footsteps, like shuffling.
The following group of clips involve one particular family. One particular thing of interest which you won't see on the camera is as we had gone into this one room with this family, and the equipment and the ghost boxes were all saying words to get out, to leave. It was telling us that it didn't want them to go into this room, and it was very vocal about it. What I didn't realize at the time was the camera had been shut down. So I had left the room, restarted the camera, and then we went back in a second time into the same room. What's odd is that the camera beeps at me when it shuts down, and it didn't produce this sound. And I have no account for why I wasn't alerted as to why the camera had been shut down. When we went back in for the second time, it started doing the same thing again. It was telling us through ghost boxes to get out and that it didn't want them in that room. It was shut off, but I don't know when it was shut off.
Oh, really?
Oh, that stinks. I probably don't have it.
You're fine. You can go through it again if you want. It's up to you. I can walk in there and see what it says this time.
Go away.
Is it because he has a camera?
I don't want you to.
Why do you not want him in here? Why? I keep hearing, it sounds like the word medic, but I'm probably wrong. Why do you not want him in here? What's your reason? it's saying something.
Yeah. Are you done answering questions? I will stop if you tell me to stop.
Mine says yes.
Go away. Okay.
Mine says yes, he is done.
Okay, I'm glad your camera was working that time. His camera
Yes,
wasn't working that time.
the camera I don't think
That's
was
the reason
running.
why it's coming back to me.
Behind you. Yeah, I had to redo it because the camera wasn't recording.
Yeah.
So I had to turn it back on for the second one.
Yeah, and that's the reason I walked up behind him and said, go away again. I was making sure that was all on camera. Because like I told him, I overthink things sometimes, but across my shoulders and my arm, still there, my hair, you can see goosebumps, and it won't stop, it won't go away. I'm going. Okay, I'm glad you got that on camera.
Yes, but the thing is he was totally evasive as to the reason why he didn't want.
They didn't want to answer it.
He wouldn't give it. He would say because, which means he doesn't want to answer that.
Yeah. I don't know. Goosebumps won't go away.
Oh, they go away. Yeah, they will fade.
Thank you very much for getting that on recording. And thank you for everything you do.
Yes, thank you.
Seriously, no, it means a lot. And we believe in a lot in this stuff. So
Well, most people don't get first-hand experience with
this
stuff.
is the first time I've got one.
Yeah, well,
on
like the cobweb feelings and the specific, I mean, repeatedly trying to get you not to go into the room.
And more than once. So it is.
And I need to catch up with the one man who was in the one room where it was getting angry.
Aggressive.
And it was functioning through him, and he was feeling all this anger and rage was pouring through him. He was really ticked off, but it wasn't him who was ticked off, it was the entity that was ticked off. And it was able to function through him to express how it felt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting out of the basement. Thank you again.
Have a good night, and they don't follow you home, so you don't have to worry.
definitely got one with us. So, you have a good night.
You too. In the following clip, I went into the room that's painted like a Japanese POW cell. A group of women were in there, and they told me that they had encountered a cold spot inside this room and that they had had EMF readings. Hey, how's it going? Just checking on everybody.
We're actually, temperature fluctuations pretty, like 3 degrees
Okay,
pretty quickly.
and I had the recording feature on the millimeter, and when I went and retrieved the numbers, someone had an EMF spike of 73 point something. So I recorded to my camera, I spoke the high and low temperature. It was quite a divergence, but the EMF spike is off, I mean, that's astronomical.
That is insane. I was excited about a 4.9.
Yeah, this was 73, and you do
Yeah.
not get readings of 73 on, no.
No, when we got in here, it was at like 70.7, and then it went up to like 73, and I was like, okay. Then went back down to 71.8, and then I was like, well, can we get it up to 74? And we got up to like 73.9, and didn't quite get to
Didn't quite.
74. But that's still, I mean.
You tried.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm pretty excited about that.
The following group of clips were recorded in the panic attack room down in the basement. Earlier in the evening, it had triggered one man to become very angry. This room has emotional effects on people. It can make them sad, have panic attacks, and want to leave the room, and in his case, it made him extremely angry, and it was overwhelming. What's interesting about this room is 95% of the people who go into it are completely unaffected. However, that other small group of people feel strong emotions flowing through them because of this room. Somehow it has the ability to trigger strong emotional reactions in certain people, and I haven't been able to figure out why some people are affected and others can't sense anything.
I'm gonna come back into this room where you made me angry earlier. Got anything you wanna say to me?
What it was doing was it was trying to function through you. We knew this guy, and this guy does not say stuff like that, but he was just, blurting out all of this stuff. And when we got him out of the building, it can't leave the building. And once we got him out of the building, it lets go. But the thing is he remembers everything he had said. But yes,
It's almost better than not remember something.
Yes, it's like the whistling that takes place. When you're walking up and down the hallways, there's a ghost that likes to whistle, and it will do it itself, but if it can't, it will make people whistle for it.
Ew.
Sometimes the people, whenever I see someone whistling, I point it out to them, did you whistle intentionally? And some of them say, what whistle? But I saw them whistling, but they had they were totally unaware of it.
I'll even let you use some of my energy like you tried to a while ago to speak through this box.
I had just recently unlocked that gate, and so his agitation and anger was probably fresh in his mind, because he was really, he does not like it when I open up that gate, because for most of the investigations, and if I'm not here, that gate doesn't get opened up. But I bring people in here deliberately because I know so many people will have a very strong reaction. I mean, people come here to have a paranormal, they want an experience. So they need to come in here to see what happens.
Right.
When you came back in here, he's not doing it now.
Yeah.
He's not even saying a peep out of that thing. But that may be deliberate. You have to remember their motives. He wants you to leave, and if he starts speaking through that device, he's going to figure that that's going to encourage you to stay.
To stay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna leave your room now and leave you be.
Okay, let's just ask a couple questions. Are you a German POW? Are you a German POW?
He's not answering, but he's trying to channel through me again. My ears are starting to get hot again.
See, he's here, but what was that? Did you hear that? It was like a cross between a cat meowing and speech. Did you hear it?
No. Every hair on my body is standing up.
Okay, well, the camera's running, so I caught whatever it was, but it sounded like a cross between a voice saying something and like a cat meowing.
Are you just in this room now playing games with me?
I just felt a breeze in the back of my head, a cold one.
Are you trying to make me angry again? Because it's working.
People are often touched at haunted locations, and this is very common. I've documented this on camera on many occasions. You'll notice people jumping back when they're physically being touched. The one universal thing, however, is that whatever is touching these people has never ever shown itself on the camera when it's doing it. And this was the case here. You'll see the man jump back after he's been touched, but you can't see anything, even in the zoom footage, of what's causing it.
Are you just going to enter me again? Just make me mad for no reason? Is that what you want to do?
Do you want me to give these back to this girl?
Did you get touched?
Something just touched my elbow.
Okay, was it like a cobwebby type feel, or was it more like fingers?
It was like,
Okay, that's a touch, okay.
Do you want me to give these back to this girl?
Did you get touched?
something just touched my elbow.
So it popped you on the elbow?
Yeah, I thought it was my shirt, that's why I heard him look at it, but it's,
Yeah, so and you're too far away from the wall.
yeah.
And the thing is, I have the camera on you at the time it happened. So if it showed itself doing it, usually though, when it does touch people like that, I can have the camera aimed straight at them and you don't get to see it. But you can see the people responding.
It's cold right here around me.
Okay, see, I was experiencing, I could feel this cold air was moving past the back of my head in particular, but it was also a little bit around my arms, but then it stopped. But now you're feeling it.
Yeah, I guess 2 or 3 degrees warmer out here than it is like right up here close to where I am.
Can you try standing in the spot that it seems to be strongest, which it's somewhere, it's about in this area. The thing is, it doesn't do me any good because I can't feel it. But the people I bring in here, some of them can feel it. I thought I heard a voice.
What is it about this spot that's making you just want to control me? I felt the feelings that you felt earlier, and I feel them now. You had a harbor hatred for some reason, and I feel you're trying to manifest that hatred through me. Can you tell us what happened to you? Why were you this way? What made you so angry?
I'll make a deal with you. We'll leave and I'll close the gate and lock it if you can turn that overhead light off. All you have to do is turn that light out. The one on the ceiling. The light switch is outside the door. All you have to do is flick the light switch off and we'll leave.
Are you just over it?
I'm starting to feel something, the air is starting to move.
I feel a breeze like
Yes.
down my shins.
Yeah. It's like, was that my imagination? Did that light just dim slightly?
It's very dim.
I thought I saw it dim down just a shade, it's like a spike. Just flip the switch on the wall and turn the light out. Did you hear something?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna leave the room now.
I'll turn the light on.
Say as I'm leaving? I don't think he's in there anymore because once I came out of that room, I'm instantly angry again.
Did you start to feel angry after you left the room?
Yeah, as soon as I stepped out of it.
So he was waiting at this side of the door.
Yeah.
That's how come he didn't want... It's possible his thoughts may be reflected on that and he didn't want to be picked up. So
That was weird, because as soon as he came out, it was different.
he wouldn't talk through the ovulus.
At all?
Yeah. No, he
Crazy.
was deliberately not talking.
Drive.
He's trying to tell you to leave.
I'm not going nowhere. You're not tough enough to make me leave.
Jumped.
Yeah, I jumped because you touched me. You startled me. I'm not scared.
What's of great interest was something happened that has never occurred before during an investigation. We'd asked the ghost what its name was, and on the screen it had produced the name Roger. But what's so unusual is there was no voice coming through the device saying the name Roger. It was printed on the LCD screen and it wasn't heard audibly. There were three of us and I had the camera running and there is no voice saying this name Roger. This name is in the database and it can speak it, but whatever is doing it is producing it on the LCD screen only. It's not drawing from the database and saying the name, it's just producing the letters on this. Just refuse to tell me their name. They could lie and make up any name. Say I'm John Smith,
Right.
but they don't do that.
Roger.
No
He hears us.
way.
Yeah, he hears us.
That just turned on there?
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't say anything.
Is your name Roger?
No, she's bringing up an interesting point. Usually when it says a word, it speaks it.
Mm-hmm.
It printed out a word and it didn't say anything.
At all.
Nothing. In the following clip, she'll describe the words spoken by the Ovulus device up in the main parlor room on the first floor. I've had encounters with ghosts up in this particular room before. I call them the aristocratic ghosts of the castle. These are the ghosts that you would expect to be smoking cigars and drinking bourbon. They're the upper crust of society who are in that room. And the words that she's stating all falls in line with my past encounters with the ghosts in that particular room. That means that it's not pulling from the dictionary. It's printing that on the screen without drawing from that library.
Yeah,
It
'cause-
said Junk Drive Farmer earlier.
yeah, it's, Roger
Oh, yeah,
just
the
caught
farmer was outside. I was in the Japanese cell, and I was holding it. And the thing is it wasn't in this room, but the other ghost was making all these references to food, like dairy, milk, and it was
And he
making
was a farmer?
food references.
That's crazy.
Or maybe he was starved.
Yeah, okay. We have that one upstairs too in the dining room. And then we were in the other room, like when you walk out, you walk in the door in that room to your right, the guy was talking about drinking. Yeah, like a big glass pour, please, and then it said slur, like drunk people slur their words. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave now. I just want you to know that before I leave, you can't go with me.
Plus, the other thing is, that she's absolutely right. On the thing, it said the word Roger when we were talking about a name.
Yeah.
It did not speak that name.
No, it typed it in.
It just typed it in, which means that the word Roger is in the database, but it didn't use it because it didn't speak it. You'll notice that some of these ghosts are telling people to go away and leave, while others are asking them that they want them to stay. Different ghosts have different personalities and temperament, and I've got a feeling that some of these entities don't even like each other.
I get goosebumps again.
Yeah. I wonder.
He had an experience where he saw in the one room with that oval mirror, he said he saw a woman with a long black dress, and he tried to get a look at her, but all he caught was a glimpse of her in the reflection of the mirror. When he went into the room, she was gone. Went. Well, he was leaving.
Yeah.
He went.
I know, it's just like silent for a really long time and then that.
Yes, but it actually spoke, whereas the name Roger,
Didn't come.
it wasn't spoken from the ovulus. Some of these ghosts love certain people, and they treat some people like royalty. Like the one minister, the military chaplain, he was up in the theater, and he was about to give a brief, like a 5-minute sermon, because we wanted to see what would happen. One of the ghosts is overheard telling the others to pipe down so he can get started. It's like, showing a sign of respect.
Right, like stop and listen.
Yeah, it's time to stop horsing around and be quiet, is what it was telling the other ones.